here we are, after about a month of migrating computers and trying new forms of content, which didn't exactly go as planned, but there probably is still potential. It looks like I really am. I am truly locked in to Legend of Zelda content for the rest of my time on this website. Well, I might as well get right back into the series that set me up on this website, the Majora's Mask Deep Dives. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Majora's Mask Deep Dives. This is episode 9. Get that, the 9th episode. This is the 3-squared episode of this channel. And we'll be covering the ancient castle of Ikana. Now, the ancient castle of Ikana is the mini dungeon of sort for the Ikana Valley. This area is also where most of the lore is found for the area. And for reasons, because of me, the lazy editor, our friends from the last episode that people didn't exactly meet with a very warm reception, they're not coming back. They're evicted. They're done. And because I don't have to edit this more than I really have to, let's get straight. Let's hop right into the enemies. The enemies in this area are the Blue Bubbles, Catulas, Garo, Redeads, and the Guais. Now, we've talked about all these enemies before, so there's no real reason to discuss these guys ever again. The mini-bosses we encounter here, though, are the Wizrobe, King's Lackeys, the King of Ikana, of course, whose name is Igostu Ikana. You notice I am switching up my pronunciations just to tick everybody off in today's episode. I would have swore there were Gibdos here as well, but to my disappointment, there was none. Disappointment is a theme in this place that will return often. I'm not exactly sure if I've talked about Wizrobe yet in this series, so I will now. Wizrobe is a returning enemy from the Zelda series, who was actually in Zelda 1. Now, what Wizrobe will do here is he's going to run around the arena, and he's going to make copies of himself, and then you got to strike the real target, and then he'll actually take damage. There are a few Wizrobes in this game. One of them is here, and the other two are in the Secret Shrine and Snowhead Temple. That's about it for them. That's all the Wizrobes I can think of. I'll talk about the king and his lackeys when we actually get to that segment of the video in like probably 4 minutes, depending on how long this video is. We'll see. Before we go inside, I want to talk about one single Easter egg. This Easter egg is the paper airplane found outside the temple, or mini dungeon, whatever the hell you want to call it, I don't give a shit, on top of one of the pillars. Now, I don't hear this brought up very often, but I do think it's very cool. Whoever threw this plane must be pretty good at launching them, perhaps, because, they must have tossed it off the stone tower, and it just so happened to land on one of the pillars. Now, if you've ever thrown a paper airplane, they kind of go, like, completely all over the place. It's completely unpredictable unless you're like
I'm a physics nerd, I know exactly what this thing's gonna do. It's gonna make a left turn, go up, down, left, right.
Nobody's like that. No real person is like that, okay? Unless you're like a complete nerd. Which, most of the people watching these videos, they're not.
Well, if you take the square root of 65 and you take the quadratic of 57 and you put in the Pythagorean theorem, and then let me adjust my glasses real quick, whoop, and then you put that in and you do this, that, and you plug it into the opportunity cost function, you're gonna get this.
No, nobody's like that. Watch. I have a feeling I'm not making anybody angry saying stuff like that.
Actually, if we look at the video here, this is actually this is called a sunk cost fallacy. This video is a sunk cost fallacy.
And I would say, hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. That's exactly what this video is. Yeah. There's a paper airplane on top of one of the pillars. Cool. Let's move on to the next section here. You can also learn a song here, and it's the Elegy of Emptiness. Now, what this song does, it summons a statue of Link. Excuse me, or anybody playing the song. Man, I got some acid reflux. Damn, I'm getting old. For example, if you're Zora Link and you play it, you'll make a statue of Mikau. If you play it as Link, it will summon Link. Many people who were born before the year 2005 may remember Ben Drowned. Ooh, spooky. A creepypasta about a kid who was like haunted by a cartridge of the game owned by a dead kid named Ben, and Ben actually drowned. Unless he's part of the drowned family, then he did not drown. He just died in a horrific manner to haunt a game cart. Either way, the story was awful, and for the 12-year-old watching this video who has no idea what I'm talking about, maybe one day I'll do a deep dive into Ben Drowned. But that'll be when I'm really out of ideas. Maybe after Majora's Mask Fun Facts comes out. But we might as well get started with this stupid castle I gotta talk about. The outside of the place is pretty nonchalant. As you can see, there's a big gate and a big sign that says it ain't never going to open. Besides that, this is true. There is actually a hole in the wall right beside the place, so good job to the idiots who designed this place, I guess. I mean, a gate with no fence. It's really usable, in my opinion. It reminds me of that video of going, oh yes, paper with no pen. That's what this reminds me of.
Sign there, we would appreciate it.
Yes, a sheet but no pen, unfortunately, so maybe we'll get to that.
Okay.
To the complete morons at the castle must deserve this fate since they can't even design a fence correctly. So, there we go. Moving on, we have a puzzle, and we need the mirror shield here. But I also think anybody who would happen to come in here would also solve this pretty easily. Imagine, if you would, a young blood were to play with a mirror in here. Maybe it's a young girl doing her makeup. Oh, let me do my makeup in this dark cave real quick. Oh my god! Oh my gosh! I accidentally bumped the big frickin' trigger here, and now the sun's on me, and my mirror just took off the sunblock, and now it's gone, and I'm inside this ancient castle. What were they thinking? It's almost like the people who made the mini dungeon in universe designed this place to be accessed by some idiot with a mirror. And I have an idea. Why not seal the hole in the wall? Huh? Did anyone think of that? Oh, we can just seal the hole in the wall here, and no one get in. Blah, 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 blah. Who the hell knows? I'm not a brainiac, but this is just common sense. Moving on, we see the castle, and it's comically underwhelming. This is some sort of joke. This is no castle. This is a fort. This is a fort at best. Besides the underwhelming castle, the whole scene is pretty cool. You can see the stone tower overlooking the castle, and this altogether gives the place a really nice feel. The castle has a few pillars beside it. Now, the iconography here is different from the iconography from the pillars outside in Hyrule Field. Pretty interesting, since last time we met, I said that possibly Clock Town was a military post for the Ikana, but my opinion on this is currently changing. I think possibly that Clock Town was built by the civilization that was here eons ago, the same ones who possibly built the stone tower. I think that maybe one of the greatest day of my life when this series is finished, maybe I'll talk about a theory video discussing that possibility. There's only one bit of Triforce iconography here, but it's also not exactly visible. Going inside the place, you are met with 3 Redeads. Now these guys drop a ton of rupees, and I bet you didn't know, and I bet you probably did know, if you wear the Gyarados mask, Captain Kita, or a Gara mask, they're going to dance for you. Yep, we have dancing zombies now in the Zelda game. Yep, they were really running out of ideas here. Now, to compensate for the small size of this place, we were giving dancing Redeads. Wow. There are 2 frozen eye switches on the wall that'll bring us to different places. Not even really puzzles anymore. You could have just put regular eye switches, but you gotta get the fire arrows, man. Man, you gotta get the fire arrows to get here. Like, it's good game design, bro. This game's awesome. Don't slander Majora's Mask. Don't do it. This game's really good. Whew. Man, I don't know what this video is gonna turn into. This is like a rehash of the Southern Swamp video. Good grief. In the other room, we can't really do anything because the sun's blocked. And, I mean, if you have the light arrows, go ahead and shoot it. It'll probably work. I don't know. But you can't do anything. So it's called progression. It's a stupid idea. We have one gimmick from the Forest Temple from Ocarina of Time. The only differences here in this room, you get to step on a pressure plate to open a door. Somehow, I actually had a good bit of trouble with this. I don't know, maybe I was like, maybe my CTE caught up with me, or some crazy stuff. Maybe I drank too much fluoride. Is that still a thing? People still say the fluoride stare. Maybe I didn't drink too much fluoride. I don't care. I don't want to do this. I don't want to talk about this crap anymore. I want to talk about Andy Kaufman and Sam Kinison. And I want to talk about Chris Chan. And I don't want to talk about Majora's Mask anymore. I can't even play the game anymore. I have a freaking iMac. I need to stop complaining. I should be grateful. I'm a grateful guy, guys, by the way. But after you get finished with this stupid room, you're met with a room with 2 blue bubbles. And then you're on the roof, and that's 1/3 of the dungeon. Yeah, that's 1/3 of it. Actually, it's probably like half. That's more like half of this place so far. So yeah, half. So there isn't much more we can really see. Going onto the roof, we're greeted with another pressure plate puzzle, as if this game is pulling its punches. It's really hit me hard here with all these pressure plate puzzles. These are insanely hard. I just cannot comprehend. Once you somehow figure out the pressure plate puzzle, once you move the stone out here, there'll be one spot here that actually has a Triforce iconography. This is what I was talking about, the Triforce bullcrap we mentioned earlier. This stone's going to open up the roof a little bit, to let in some sunlight. Boom. Now moving on outside, we can see some pretty legit stuff, like the paper airplane I ranted about earlier. And looking at the landing spot, as I probably said earlier, it looks like it could be from the stone tower. Wow! Stone tower! Wow! Oh, don't look at me! Don't look at me! That's an Andy Kaufman reference. Looks like it could be from the stone tower. But if you've ever flown an airplane, much like I said earlier, and now I'm just repeating myself in the script, these things can move around, so I have no idea. As I sit here on my golden throne recording this, I shall now say, this should not be overanalyzed. It is clearly an Easter egg. Going back inside the place, we can go to the other side where the suns open up, and we can find more Redeads dancing if we're wearing a mask. It also seems as if some of these Redeads used to play Team Fortress 2 back in its heyday. As you can see, one of them's doing the Krakowski kick. Look at that. TF2 reference. Like 12 years, like 7 years prior. Look at that, guys. Can you believe that? Moving on, we have to fight the Wizrobe. This is actually a really easy battle since the area is just a square on the same level. Each of the Wizrobe things are pretty close together too, so I completely wiped the floor with this sucker. Moving on, now we have a portion of the roof that was closed off earlier. We need to drop a powder keg in here to put another hole in the ceiling, letting in more light. We can drop down to this hole, accidentally kill all of these dancing Redeads, and then you can do a little... Excuse me, I almost burped again. As you can tell, I'm just a perfect one-take guy. You can actually kill all these Redeads, do a little sunbeam in, and get up to the boss chamber. And here, you finally come face to face with the king of this crappy kingdom. This place is the worst. This place fell apart. Let me not get carried away here. So, the king is the mini-boss, whatever. He's followed by his two lackeys, who are thought almost the exact same. Talk about effort in these videos here from me, because I'm the GOAT. But I would say, the setup for this battle is very interesting. He morphs into reality and closes the blinds on you. Wow. He closes the blinds. Now, that's weird. I don't know what he's going to do to me. And the whole battle is very disappointing. I remember this battle being like 50 times longer than it actually was, with a lot more stages than there was. I was extremely disappointed of this. And like how many of you guys are probably disappointed of how much effort I'm putting into this video right now. But there'll probably be a handful of you guys who find this funny. I think the dislike ratio will be 90% disliked, 10% liked. Ooh, that's a big flip. That is a red lightsaber back in the day. That is a 1 star for if you're an Unk. That's an old star, Unk. That's a 1 star for Unk. Yep. Flipping up my words now. I'm really losing it. So all you do is shoot the blinds of fire arrows. You knock these fools down and burn them with sunlight. You think the fire arrows would burn them too, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. What the hell? Well, once you defeat Egos du Ikini, yeah, that's a new pronunciation. Ikini. He's gonna give you the lore dump I promised to talk about in the last episode. And I'm not gonna do that. I'm changing my mind. I'm gonna tell you a big summary. The kingdom fell because the tower had some evil power coming out of it. Whoa! Chicken jockey. Maybe to get to the water tower. Yeah, this is now a water tower. Maybe to get to the big water tower in the Stone Tower Temple, they should have done a water bucket release. I just instantly dated this video. Good grief. This video is now full of unfunny memes too. In 2 months, when people are watching this for the first time, they're like, oh god, this guy's a freaking loser. This guy's an idiot. Maybe I am. That's for you to decide. Yep. And he also, and the dead are lingering because of Skull Kid. That's also what was revealed here. And he will teach you the Elegy of Emptiness. And this will create statues of whoever's wearing, whoever is playing the song. I was going to say wearing the mask, but I don't know. And I do have a little theory. And when you make all the transformation masks, as well as Link and the statues, you'll notice that the eyes of the confirmed dead are white. Now, listen up. Link's eyes are normal, so that makes me believe that Link is not dead. That game theory video was a sham. I think that actually did got a lot of negative feedback back in the day, but that was like 12 years ago, I think. And I think PBG was in that video too, so I don't know. I'm not up to date on my game theory lore. It's been like 15 years, it feels like now, so that's neither here or there. As you know, Darmani and Macau are confirmed dead. We watched them die. We watched Macau die. We saw the ghost of Darmani walking around, so he's confirmed dead. They're both confirmed dead. Deku Link is confirmed to be, well, not confirmed, it's believed to be the tree that we saw at the beginning of the game. And Link is clearly still alive. We are Link. So what's going on here? I must have thought that was like a Vsauce thing, because I don't know. I think this may confirm that Deku Link is still alive, or that Dekus don't die, like how other beings die in this series. If we go with the idea that Termina is a parallel world, then we can think that maybe the Hylian version of the Deku Butler son is alive, whilst the Termina one is dead. Now this can go either way. It's probably the other way around. I don't know what I was writing here. I said in my community post I'll be doing touch-ups. Clearly I must not have. Now, the Elegy of Emptiness works on Hylian since it works on Link. So the transformation mask is a Hylian Deku scrub that's to explain why the eyes of the Deku are still full. And if we're only talking about Hylians, maybe they're white, or not Hylians, Terminians? Terminal people? Termina folk are white. I don't know what I was saying here. Now, this could also just be, and it probably is, a complete over-analysis of this idea. Now, if you are interested in this idea I'm spouting out here, maybe in 15,000 years, after I'm done doing Majora's Mask and Fun Facts Part 15,000, we can talk about that. This whole concept I just explained does need some serious work, however. As for the rest of the place, I was extremely disappointed. I remember this place being much larger and more content-filled than how it really was. If I would have played this area before finishing the video, I would have included this in the Ikana Valley video, which probably should have been done. That's all I really have to say about this place in the game. The next episode, we'll be traveling to the moon to look at the 4 mini-dungeons there as well, as the final boss. I'm sorry about the weird upload schedule recently. College is ramping up again, and I'm trying to balance it all out. Actually, today I'm very close to finishing one of my online classes, so that's going to be done probably before this video even comes out. However, I'll see you guys all in a few weeks. I think maybe I'll do a different Zelda game before then. Since I am on iMac now, it's a little bit harder to do stuff like that. Zelda 64 Recomp is not available on Mac yet. If I can find an email address for Mr. Wise Guy, I will reach down and be like, hey, I've noticed you haven't updated this project since like June of 2024. What you doing? I understand the guy has a life, but I'd like to know. People don't do that to me, so I probably shouldn't. If you guys did enjoy this episode, somehow, make sure to subscribe, like, and all that crap. I'll see you guys in a few weeks. I do have a second channel now where I do, like, lolcow type content. Not even. I just made a video on Sean B and Chris Chan the other 2 days. It's called Squatch in Space. If you like that, go check it out. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead, do it, share this. I don't care. Have a nice night, guys.